Hello and welcome to Middle Eastern Thursday. So today, guys, we are going to be having a very interesting discussion because this is the first time that I've done a video like this. So I'm sure you will agree with me that we've had so many new releases just recently, and it seems like many of them are around the same scent profile. And I keep getting questions, whether it's via DMs or emails or even in the comment section of videos, asking me to compare different fragrances that have the same scent profile. Some of them I do own, so I'm able to give you an answer, but others I don't. So what I decided to do was today, I am going to share with you my top picks for spring by scent profile. But as I do that, where I have several fragrances that are part of the same scent profile, I will be comparing them for you and telling you why my top pick is my choice and why not the others. Now, keep in mind that I don't have just about every single Middle Eastern fragrance that is out there. I have quite a large collection, as you know, but I don't have them all. So wherever I have multiples, I will definitely share. There are also some scent profiles that, even though I have fragrances that have been launched and have the similar scent profile as my top pick, I just didn't even feel that those other fragrances were worthy of even a comparison, because really, whether it's related to performance or to the scent itself or to the quality of the fragrance, I just felt that there was no comparison. So for those, I will just tell you which one is my top pick. The other thing that I want you to know is that about a year ago, around this time last year, I did publish a video where I told you what my top picks were for spring by scent profile. And this year what I'm doing is I'm doing an updated version, and I've tried to include recent launches, fragrances that have been launched recently. Now, there are a couple of fragrances that are not very recent because they continue to be the very best within that scent profile, in my opinion. But other than that, most of these fragrances are pretty new. The last two things that I do want to let you know is that I have come up with quite the number of scent profiles. So these are not like your typical, perfumery scent profiles. Some of them will be, but most of them are scent profiles that I have come up with because they're just very, very interesting. You'll see. And then last but not least, this is not a detailed review video because all of these fragrances, with maybe the exception of two, have been hauled and reviewed and mentioned here quite a bit on the channel. So if you need more detailed information on any of these fragrances, all you have to do, is go to the channel page, enter the name of the fragrance, and the videos where I talk about it will definitely pop up. Okay, but let's get started because we have quite the number. I think I have, guys, around 27, I think it is, 27 or 28 fragrances. But anyway, before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Marahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go, fam. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to share with you belongs to a scent profile that I've decided to call the Coconut Lover. So if you are a coconut lover and you're looking for a fragrance that is suitable for the spring season without necessarily bringing too much of a tropical vibe and not necessarily being creamy, because then you feel like it's more of like a summer scent, if you are looking for the perfect coconut fragrance for spring, I can tell you that my pick is Ministry of Gourmand, and this is Coconut Lagoon. Now, Coconut Lagoon is a fragrance that I have reviewed here on the channel. And I have to tell you, this is really one of my favorite launches of 2025 because this is a very different type of coconut fragrance. I do have a detailed review here on the channel, so I'm not going to get into too much detail, but this is definitely my top pick for the coconut lover. This is a fragrance that, while being a coconut-centric fragrance, it also has some fresh notes of like lemon and bergamot. It has some watermelon, if I remember correctly, and it does have a good bit of vanilla. But when I tell you this one is just a beauty, you are going to get that coconut scent, but again, it's not so much like a creamy coconut or coconut flakes or a toasted coconut type of scent. It's more like a coconut water. So it makes it very flowy and very fresh and very airy for the spring season. So the next scent profile that I want to discuss with you today, I decided to label vanilla because there's been so much like of a vanilla love in the past couple of years. I mean, we have always loved vanilla fragrances, but it just seems to me that in the last couple of years, there's been an influx of so many vanilla-centric fragrances. And of course, within Middle Eastern fragrances, we have not had the exceptions, right? Because of course, everybody loves a good vanilla fragrance. So today I have here for you, and this is not the only scent profile related to vanilla that I will be sharing with you, but this is one dedicated exclusively to the note of vanilla, where the fragrance is almost 100% vanilla. And I am going to tell you that my top pick continues to be Bois de Vanille by Le Bois. This fragrance, guys, is... this is such an incredible fragrance. This is all about the vanilla. And there's also like some woody notes here. But again, this is truly all about the vanilla. But there's other vanilla fragrances that are also quite excellent and very much almost 100% vanilla centric. And the first one that I did compare it to and that I did want to bring to your attention in case you're wondering which one you should pick is Tahara Vanilla. Now, the thing about Tahara Vanilla is that this one has been with me, guys, for a year. So the color that you see there is from the maturation and maceration process being, I guess, complete, because this vanilla is really, really pure and really, really strong. But the thing about this fragrance, and I just love it, guys, but the thing about this fragrance is that it is musk based. So for me, this is more one that I would like to recommend for the summer season, not necessarily spring, because when I compared it to Bois de Vanille, I just thought that Bois de Vanille was actually more suitable for the spring season. Now, the other fragrance that I did add to that mix, because you guys are always asking me which one should you pick up, is Spanish Vanilla from Rehab. Now, this is a fragrance that I hauled and I reviewed here on the channel not too long ago. So this one has really not had a chance to sit as much as the other two. So I want to make sure that I am fair and tell you that this one has not had the same opportunity, right? But I can tell you that still my top pick is Bois de Vanille, because this one, you know, it's a little bit more diluted. It's less of a presence of the vanilla. It's more like an extract of vanilla. And I think that I did explain that when I did the detailed review of this one. But all in all, guys, my top pick for this scent profile is Bois de Vanille from Le Bois. Now, this category is not, this next one is not a scent profile, but it is very, very important because the three fragrances that I'm going to share with you here are absolute perfection for the spring season. But these fragrances are so special that I didn't even feel that they should be boxed within a scent profile category. And let me start with the first one, which is Khair Felicity. Now, guys, this is a fragrance that has gone viral over and over and over again. And I know that you have heard of this fragrance and you may even own it, but I had to bring it and tell you that this is perfection for spring and definitely one of the elite fragrances in my entire fragrance collection. The second one that I want to share with you and that I'm sure will not come as a surprise is Khadlaj Empire Victor. Guys, this right now is like a lifer for so many people. This is an exquisitely beautiful fragrance. It's elegant, it's bright, it's everything. It's everything that you would possibly want in a fragrance. It's incredible for layering, it performs beautifully, perfection for the spring season, perfection for all year. But I think that it's really beautiful for the spring season. Now, the last one is really not going to come as a surprise, because if I do any type of lineup video on this channel and I don't find a reason to include this one, it's like I walk away sad. And I am speaking about Khadlaj, and this one is Flor Oud. Guys, this is a lifer for me. Those of you who have been with me for a while know that, of course, I wasn't going to have this video without mentioning this beauty. This, guys, is spring perfection. This is elegance, sophistication. This is a fragrance that could be your signature scent. This is a fragrance that would be perfect for a bride or for attending a spring wedding. It is just absolute perfection. If you enter the name of this fragrance in the channel page, you are going to find a ton of videos where I talk about this fragrance in detail. Now, the next scent profile is another one that I created, and this one is called Cherry Lovers. So we have our cherry fragrances. Now you may be wondering, okay, Arahi, we are entering spring. We do not need a cherry fragrance for spring, because typically cherry fragrances have a level of like denseness and like, I don't know, they're more like for fall and winter and maybe the beginning of spring. But when I tell you that the three fragrances that I'm going to discuss with you are really perfect for the spring season, and my top pick is perfection as a cherry fragrance for the spring season. And that would definitely have to be the latest from Khadlaj, and this one is Nua Cherry Blush. Oh my goodness, guys. Now, I have a detailed review of this fragrance coming at the beginning of next week, so keep that in mind. I have a video where I will be talking about the entire Khadlaj patisserie collection. I did receive it in PR, and I will be talking about Cherry Blush. And I also have another collection for spring that I really need to share with you. So that video is probably going to be on Monday of next week, because I haven't had a chance to do anything else this week. But Nua Cherry, guys, I tell you, this is perfection for spring. When it comes to a cherry fragrance, in my opinion, you want one that has a certain degree of airiness. It can be sweet, but it can't be sickly sweet or overly sweet. It has to be airy, and it has to be like a very fresh and natural cherry. It can't be a cough syrup type of cherry. It can't be one of those cherries that are just cloying and like jammy and like syrupy. No, you want something that's a bit airy. And when I tell you that at my first sniff of this fragrance, whew, this is cherry perfection and beauty. But this is my top pick. But let me share with you the other two fragrances that almost made it as a top pick and why. So let's go ahead and start with Afrah Cherry. And this is one that I just discussed and reviewed for you not too long ago. Now, while this is a good fragrance for the spring season, I find it to be a bit too dense. And you know, it's also got a certain degree of darkness, and the cherry to me is not as fresh as what I find in Nua Cherry Blush. So this one did not make it. The other one that I did compare it to, and I'm sure this will not be a surprise, is from Lattafa, and this is Minya Cherry Intense, which I've also already reviewed here on the channel. And what I loved about this fragrance was its airiness. And it is a lovely fragrance. It is airy, but I just think that Nua Cherry definitely takes away the prize, because Nua Cherry is just such a real and fresh and juicy type of cherry, just perfection for the spring season. So the next scent profile was also created by me, and this one is called the Dark Chocolate Lover. Guys, we've had so many chocolate fragrances launched just recently, like within the last month. I have like 6 or 7 chocolate fragrances, when before I didn't really even have, I think I had one Middle Eastern chocolate fragrance. But anyway, so in this one, we are going to talk about specifically fragrances that made that final cut as it relates to a dark chocolate note. And I'm going to tell you that my top pick here is Gulf Orchid's Dark Chocolate. This fragrance, guys, is just incredible. I already discussed this fragrance here on the channel, but I have to tell you that I absolutely love this fragrance. This is truly a dark chocolate fragrance, but at that, it's not like too bitter. It is very wearable. You are going to smell like dark chocolate to a certain extent, but not necessarily like food per se. It is a very, very pleasant and beautiful fragrance with incredible performance, I tell you. This is a dark chocolate, again, that is not too dark and not bitter necessarily. Now, the fragrance that I compared this one to then be able to tell you from the most recent launches that I prefer this one, was from French Avenue, and this one is Chocolat Addict. Now, Chocolat Addict, guys, is a fragrance that I also really do enjoy. And I really do love this fragrance, just not as much as dark chocolate. The thing about Chocolat Addict is that this is truly a dark chocolate, like 94%, if not higher, cacao type of chocolate. This is a powerhouse. I just think it is a bit too much for the spring season, which is why I didn't pick it. But other than that, I think that you could get away with wearing it on a very cold spring day. But I just think that dark chocolate is more suitable for the spring season. But they both are great chocolate fragrances. All right, so I think you guys are really going to enjoy this next scent profile, which I also created. And this one is called the Dubai Chocolate Craze. So Dubai chocolate, guys, is a chocolate, of course, from Dubai, and it went viral. And I really wasn't even aware of it until I was sent this fragrance, which is Pistachio Kunafa. And today I'm going to compare for you two fragrances that were both allegedly, not allegedly, they both really were inspired by Dubai chocolate. Now, Dubai chocolate is a chocolate bar, and I'm going to share one with you right now. But Dubai chocolate is a chocolate bar that has like, you know, that phyllo pastry. It has phyllo pastry, it has some pistachios, and of course, it has chocolate. And there is a very distinctive smell to it. And that's what these two fragrances were inspired by. They wanted to capture the scent of this specific chocolate bar. Now, I'm going to tell you which one is truly, like, to me, 100% the exact same scent of the chocolate bar. But before I do that, let me go ahead and share with you. And I did have an unboxing here on the channel where I share this with you, but this is like the cover of the chocolate bar. And then here is the chocolate bar. And let me show it to you. You put this here because I took a bite. Okay, so this is the chocolate bar. And do you see here how it has like that filling? Oh, I hope you can see that. Let me see if I do it like this. Okay, so can you see there? It has like a filling that looks like green, like a pistachio. Well, that is definitely the pistachio. Now, when I tell you the smell of this chocolate is just unbelievable, and the taste is unbelievable. But let's talk about two fragrances that were inspired by the scent of this chocolate bar. And the first one is Choco Brown by Khadlaj. Now, this is a fragrance, guys, that I will be reviewing in detail for you in that Monday video that I told you about earlier. And this is a fragrance that is extremely powerful. The chocolate here is no joke. And yes, it is giving me that Dubai chocolate scent. It really is. But the one that to me smells 100% like Dubai chocolate is Anfar's Pistachio Kunafa. Oh my goodness, guys, this fragrance, this is, because the thing is that I find this one not only to smell truly 100% like the Dubai chocolate bar, but I find that it brings the same level of intensity to the note of pistachio, because that chocolate bar is very much about the chocolate and the pistachio. It's like they're both the stars of the flavor of that chocolate bar. And when it comes to this fragrance, I find that the scent is giving me a partnership between the chocolate and the pistachio, and you do get the other notes, but the pistachio and the chocolate are the stars. Now, what I find with Choco Brown is that Choco Brown has a chocolate that is a bit dark. It's not like a bitter dark chocolate, but it's almost getting there. And I do not pick that up from the Dubai chocolate bar. It is like a dark chocolate, but to me, it's more of like a combination of a milk chocolate and a dark chocolate. And that is what I get in this fragrance. But all in all, these are both great, but my top pick as it relates to the Dubai chocolate scent profile will definitely be Pistachio Kunafa. I will be reviewing this fragrance also in detail during the Monday video, but I can tell you guys, this, if you are a chocolate lover, you just need to go ahead and get this one, because you are going to be absolutely in love at first sniff. Now, very important, you do need to enjoy a nutty accord in a fragrance, because the pistachio is very present in this fragrance as much as it is in the real Dubai chocolate bar. All right, so the next scent profile is another one that I've created. And guys, I was not even going to bring this fragrance because, well, I do have a fragrance that is very new, so it does qualify for this video. I mean, all three of them are very new. Two of them are super new, like they were 2025 releases. The other one was a 2024 release. But I have to tell you that, anyway, let me just go ahead and tell you what the scent profile is. So the scent profile is called the Guidance Cult Following. And here we have three fragrances. And of course, I'm sure you already know what we're going to talk about. So let's talk about my top pick. My top pick, guys, is going to be Paris Corner Bayn Al-Asrar. Hands down, when it comes to guidance, when it comes to that scent profile, this one to me is the one that truly approaches the original guidance almost to 100%, if not 100%. It has that same sharpness that you can experience in the opening of the fragrance, and which has been a turnoff for many people. But at the end of the day, this is the one that is my top pick for spring if you are into the guidance kind scent profile. Now, the next fragrance that came out, and this was at the beginning of this year, is from Khadlaj, and this one is Musk Pour Amber. Now, I've already talked about this fragrance and reviewed it here on the channel, but this is a fragrance that definitely has that guidance scent profile, but at that, it is a bit smoother. It tries to smooth out all of those little quirks that you find in the original guidance. And I really struggled to pick between Bayn Al-Asrar and this one, because I really love this one, because again, it smoothed out all of that excessive frankincense. That's the only thing that, that I really complain about, if anything, because I love that scent profile. But I would say that this is number 2. And then the third fragrance is one that just came out, and this one is from Maison Alhambra, and this one is Decadent Dream. Now, Decadent Dream, guys, is also, believe me, as soon as you sniff it, you know that this is the guidance scent profile, but it takes that smoothness to the next level. I was very hesitant on even bringing this one to the channel because I just received this fragrance. It was a gift from a fan member, and I just received it not too long ago, and I just reviewed it not too long ago. So this one has really not had a chance to sit for quite a while in my Middle Eastern fragrances collection. While Bayn Al-Asrar has been with me for almost a year, if not a year, and Musk Pour Amber has been with me for a couple of months. So it's just not fair to this one. But based on what I'm finding, I think that this one is going to be an even smoother version than Musk Pour Amber. But we won't have a final say until this one has had a chance to macerate for a couple of months. But when it comes to the guidance scent profile, Bayn Al-Asrar from Paris Corner continues to be my top pick. And if you want a smoother version, then I would definitely say that Khadlaj Musk Pour Amber is your best friend. All right, guys. So this next scent profile is also made up by me, and I promise you, I did not make up all of the scent profiles that we're covering today. But this next one I did, and this one is called the Coffee Lovers. Now, guys, we've always had coffee fragrances launch within Middle Eastern fragrances. Last year, we did have, I think, one or maybe two, at least of the ones that I picked up. But this year, there's been, oh my goodness, there's been so many coffee fragrances. And I keep getting the question from you on which one to pick. So let's just talk about it today. If you do not see a fragrance that you have a question on within this little group of fragrances that I'm going to share with you as it relates to coffee, then that means that I don't even think that it's that special, unless I just don't have it in my collection. But let's talk about, first of all, my top pick. My top pick would be the latest from Khadlaj, and this one is Mocha Latte. Guys, and if you've been with me for a while, you know that I am not much of a coffee fragrance type of person, but when there is a fragrance that is well done, such as this one, I can't resist, because this is truly, in my opinion, perfect for the spring season, and a beautiful coffee fragrance, and different at that. So this one does give you that scent, that, coffee scent, without being too much, without being overpowering, without being obnoxious. It's a very balanced, very well blended fragrance. And it is not lactonic at all to my nose. And it is airy, and it is sweet. It is just absolute perfection for the spring season. Now let's talk about the other two fragrances. And let's start with another one that's part of that same collection within Khadlaj. And that's part of the collection that I will be reviewing for you this coming Monday. And this one is Cafe Latte. Now, Cafe Latte is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. But here's the thing. It does have like a bit of like a sticky caramel, right? The caramel note is sweet, and it gives me like a sticky type of vibe, accord feel. And this is a fragrance that is also lactonic. Is it very lactonic? No, but it is lactonic. And you do get that coffee, and the coffee is a bit more intense than, at least to my nose, than what I find in Mocha Latte, making it less suitable, in my opinion, for the spring season. But of course, you can wear whatever you want. But, that is just my opinion. This one is great. It's just not as suitable for the spring season. Now let's go into another fragrance, and this one is not from Khadlaj. This one is from Maison Asrar, which you guys know I love them, and this one is Coffee Blend. Guys, Coffee Blend is an exquisite coffee fragrance, but of the three, this is the most dense. This to me is without a shadow of a doubt, and it's now had a chance to sit for a bit in my collection. This is without a shadow of a doubt a fragrance that is best suited for the seasons of fall and winter. This to me is not a spring season at all type of fragrance, and much less summer. So this one was immediately disqualified. It is very dense. It is lactonic, bordering on very lactonic, and it does have a very strong caramel and a very strong coffee scent. It is a beautiful fragrance. It's very yummy, but I just think that if you told me, Arahi, of these three, which one should I pick up for spring, I'm going to tell you all day, every day, that Mocha Latte from Khadlaj is my latest, and I think is definitely the best for spring. All right, guys, so this next scent profile is another one that I came up with. And I'm telling you, I came up with these names just based on the activity around the fragrance, the comments that I've received, the questions that I've received. So this next one is called the Vanilla Sex Team. So these are the fam members that honestly, it's like they are obsessed with the vanilla sex fragrance. And if they can find a more affordable, better performing, better all around fragrance, then they will continuously ask the question. So today I'm just going to address this, right? So I reviewed for you not too long ago, I discussed with you here on the channel, the latest from Maison Alhambra, which is Sensual Vanilla. This was a fragrance that was also sent by a fam member, and I can tell you that this fragrance is a very, very good fragrance when it comes to being inspired by Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. But in all fairness, this one has not had a chance to sit in my collection as long as my top pick has, and this will continue to be Lattafa Sehr. Now, this fragrance, Sensual Vanilla, okay, I tried it for that video that I did, and I am very impressed with it. I am very happy with it. But what I'm finding is that the almond, the note of bitter almond is becoming more and more pronounced, right, in this fragrance. And here it's present, but it is smoother. And with time, this one has had a chance, of course, to sit. I've had it for quite a while in my collection, and that bitter almond note has smoothed out quite considerably. Is it still present? It's still present. You're not going to get rid of it because part of the, in my opinion, part of the pull of this scent profile is that bitter almond. That's what sets it apart as a vanilla fragrance compared to the others that I shared with you today. But right now, when it comes to spring, I would think that this is too much of a powerhouse. I do not recommend this as my top pick for spring. My top pick for spring as it relates to that specific scent profile would definitely be Lattafa Sehr. All right, guys. So all of the fragrances that I'm going to share with you next are standalone fragrances within their scent profile, which means that even if I have other fragrances that were inspired by the same or that have the exact same scent profile as the one that I'm going to share with you, I thought that this one was the best by far, and it is truly my top pick. Now I'm going to repeat, do I have every fragrance possibly, out there within the same scent profile? No. But what I'm telling you is that these are truly my top picks within the specific scent profiles that I'm about to discuss with you. And let's go ahead and start with the Oud Lovers scent profile. Now, this fragrance that I'm going to share with you, from the first moment I received it, it was sent to me. I have to tell you, I have been completely in love with this fragrance, and I can't wait for the full-on spring season to come in so that I can wear it and layer with it, because this is an incredibly beautiful oud fragrance. And this one is from Pendora Scents, and this one is Oud Holidays. This is a fragrance that has some florals, some vanilla, some tangerine, and the oud, while present, this is more of like a level 3 oud, but very, very smooth. This is not a barnyard oud, and this is a fragrance that has sat in my collection for a couple of months, but really, in my opinion, has not had a chance to really sit for quite a while. So it may even smooth out even more, because I am telling you, this is just incredible. But this was great from the get-go. I mean, I have allowed it to sit, but this was great from the get-go. It's a very smooth oud. It's a non-offensive oud, and it is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance that, to be honest with you, is more than perfect for spring and will transition you and carry you through the summer season. So imagine when I'm telling you that there's an oud fragrance that will carry you through the summer season. I mean, really? So that should tell you the level of smoothness. It's not faint. You are going to pick up on the oud, but there is an inherent smoothness and a very well done balance between all of the notes that are present in this fragrance. My top pick for spring. So this next scent profile is one that I like to call the Nutty Accord Lovers, right? So these are fragrances that have a very dominant nutty accord, but the fragrance that I have picked for you, although it does have a nutty accord that is very dominant, it is done so incredibly, guys, so wearable, so manageable. And I'm speaking about Paris Corner Minya Green. Now, Paris Corner Minya Green is supposed to be inspired by Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62, if I remember correctly. And much like that fragrance, this one is very airy. It does have some almonds, some caramel, some vanilla. It is just, when I tell you, perfection. It is very airy, very wearable, very beautiful, perfect for the spring season. So it is my top pick within this scent profile. So within the spicy scent profile, there's a fragrance that every time I have to talk about a spicy fragrance, I bring it up. So this is not going to come as a surprise to you, but I am speaking about Lattafa's Niche Emarati, and this one is Mughal Fort. Guys, I cannot find another spicy fragrance to even come to like the toes of this one. To me, this is spiciness perfection. But I'm going to tell you, this is not a good fragrance for a very warm, like an abnormally warm spring day. I would not pull this fragrance. This is perfect for a true spring day where you have very mild weather and even cool, but not a hot day. But other than that, guys, this is when I tell you, if you are a spicy fragrances lover and you haven't gotten your nose on this one, you are missing out, because I am telling you, this is the most incredible spicy fragrance. To me, dominant in this fragrance, you're going to have cardamom, caramel, you're going to have some vanilla. Ooh, and you're going to have the patchouli, which gives it a lot of character and oomph, because if not, I think that just the spicy notes and then the caramel would make like a different vibe kind of fragrance. But this is just incredible when it comes to a spicy fragrance that is beautiful, but with character for the spring season. So the next scent profile that I want to talk about is one that I came up with, and I like to call this one the Delina Fragrances Circuit. Because guys, we have had so many fragrances allegedly inspired by Delina Exclusive, Delina La Rosée. Well, I have had my nose on quite a number of them. I have decluttered a couple of them because they were just like not doing anything for me. But this next one that I'm going to share with you is to me the most spot on. And it is a fragrance that on its own truly is incredibly beautiful. And this one is from Zimaya, and this one is Hawwa Pink. Now, Hawwa Pink, much like Delina La Rosée, so it has some lychee, pear, peony, rose, vanilla. It is just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And I am telling you, this is almost, if not spot on for Delina La Rosée, but just a beautifully, beautifully done fragrance, and definitely my top pick within the Delina circuit. So if you're looking for a fragrance that, you know, will give you the same feel and vibe, to me, this is the best as it relates to Delina La Rosée. This next scent profile is your floral, fruity, gourmand scent profile. And of course, no, I did not come up with that one. That one is very known. And to me, the best fragrance that we have seen recently within the Middle Eastern fragrances definitely is Lattafa Sehr Oud, and this one is Noble Blush. Now, Noble Blush is a fragrance that is going to give you at the dry down and throughout the wear like a rose milk kind of scent. But at that, guys, this fragrance is not lactonic in that manner. You may pick up on a tad, a very, very tad negligible lactonic quality to the fragrance, but it's really not. This is a fresh and sweet and very rose-centric kind of fragrance. The rose is very fresh, it's very young, it's freshly bloomed. It is just, when I tell you, this is spring in a bottle. This is perfection for spring. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance, guys. I know that a lot of people have picked this one up. Let me know. Let me know if you picked up any of these fragrances and your thoughts. Do you agree with my comments on them? But I have to tell you that this one is my top pick within the fruity floral gourmands. So this next scent profile is the fresh spicy. We covered the spicy, but now I want to give you a top pick within fresh spicy, because I did find several fragrances, not a lot, I think it was like 2 more under this scent profile. And I just wanted to share with you that my favorite right now has got to be Emir Paris Corner, and this one is Vous Zingy. Now, I just reviewed this fragrance here on the channel not too long ago, and this one is supposed to be inspired by Xerjoff's Torino 21, which is a favorite for us Torino collectors, right? And this fragrance, guys, when I tell you this is spring in a bottle also, oof, this is a very aromatic fragrance that is also very, very fresh. It has mint, it has some citrusy notes, it has some, within the citrusy notes, there's some lemon and some citron. It is just, when I tell you, perfection for the spring season. It is immediately going to put you in that state of mind. And it is also a tad green. So it's almost like, spring is, everything is blooming and you're going to be right there with it. Just an incredible fragrance. So this next scent profile is one I like to call Second Skin Musk. So this one is for my true musk lovers. Not a musk that is animalic, but those fragrances that have like a very smooth, very beautiful kind of musk. Reminiscent of like all of the Narciso Rodriguez fragrances for the most part. The musk has been done so smoothly and so beautiful. Well, my top pick within Middle Eastern fragrances, and this is a fragrance that could compete with the best of the best in my opinion as it relates to that musk and how it's been done. And this one is from Paris Corner and it's Eternal Musk. Wow, guys, this is a fragrance that is not very new. I've had it for a year, if not more. It's been sitting. But I have to tell you that when I looked around, I just could not select another fragrance. And there's an entire musk collection that I reviewed for you last year. And I'm about to review an entire musk collection for you this year, this coming Monday. But those fragrances haven't had a chance to sit. And at the end of the day, they're not the same level of musk that you find here, because this is truly all about the musk. There is no other note that really is as dominant as the musk, right? So this is truly like second skin. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this next fragrance because I just hauled it and reviewed it on the channel, and I've already brought it up in a couple of other videos because this was an obsession from first sniff. And this is a fragrance, guys, that I absolutely love. And this one will definitely fall under the floral fruity fragrances. And this one is Maison Asrar, and this is Date Night. Oh my goodness, guys. When I tell you floral fruity perfection, have you gotten your nose on this one? Oh my goodness. This is just so, so good. And this one came out along with another one called Pink Crush, but this is everything. And please don't allow the name to confuse you into thinking that you can only really use this one for a date night. No, this is truly a floral fruity fragrance that is perfect for the spring season. Dominant to my nose within the florals are the orange blossom and the lily of the valley. Within the fruits, I can tell you that I pick up on the raspberry clearly and the note of mango. Very juicy, very ripe, very beautiful and realistic in the opening. And then, as if it weren't enough, but really what takes this fragrance to the next level in my opinion, there's the note of marshmallow. Oh my goodness. But if you're wondering, well, do you have a scent profile to cover like marshmallow? Yes, I do, and it's coming up. But this fragrance to me is not centered around the marshmallow. This is truly a floral, fruity fragrance that is just beautiful for spring. So the next scent profile that I have for you is the zesty scent profile. And this fragrance, I actually have another fragrance in my collection, which is from North Stag. And I shared it with you last year. And my goodness, I love that fragrance. And it is coming back. But I just think that one is more suitable for the summer season. But this one that I'm going to share with you, I really believe is perfection for the spring season because it has a bit more character. The other one that I'm going to share with you for the summer is really just about the zesty note. So this scent profile is all about the zesty fragrances. And my top pick for spring is Paris Corner Khayal. Now, this is also a fragrance that was launched not too long ago. I've had it in my collection for several months. I have reviewed it here. I have talked about it. And this is a fragrance that is just perfection as it relates to a zesty fragrance. Here, the dominant notes are bergamot, orange, and grapefruit. But guys, this is just, when I tell you this is spring in a bottle, this is truly spring in a bottle from a zesty standpoint. So you really have to enjoy that zest accord in order to love this fragrance. But this is such a non-offensive, it's sweet, it's just a beautiful fragrance. And it's a fragrance that it's not just about those zesty accords, it also has a ton of character. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful scent for spring. All right, so this next one is for the scent profile of rose. So rose-centric fragrances. And this is not a new fragrance, guys. And if you've been with me since the beginning of my Middle Eastern fragrances journey, this is not going to come as a surprise. I tried to pick other rose fragrances, but honestly, none is better than Lattafa's Mora Silky Rose. Oh no. This is just, when I tell you, the most beautiful rose fragrance ever. Fresh bloom rose. Total fresh bloom rose. A bright, a very like open, like airy, like put a pep in your step kind of fragrance. It will make you feel like embracing nature during the spring season. It is just perfection. I can't speak highly enough of this fragrance. I do know that a ton of fan members have picked it up through time, so please let us know your thoughts. But I am telling you, this is my top pick within the rose-centric profile. And a question that I get quite frequently is, does this one remind me of any of the Delinas? And no, this one is not part of the Delina circuit, okay? This one stands on its own as an incredibly beautiful rose fragrance. So this next scent profile is one that I am sure you are very interested in, because we have had quite the collection of candy fragrances launch during this year and even in 2024. And I do have quite a number of fragrances that did compete against this one. But I am sure you're not going to be surprised when I tell you that Paris Corner Marshmallow Blush is the one at the top of the list. This is truly my top pick for spring. If you are looking for a beautiful, beautiful for spring, candy-like fragrance that will make you smell beautiful while making you smell like candy, this is it. This has strawberry, raspberry, vanilla, a very fluffy marshmallow note that is just everything that puts it over the top. There's like a cotton candy effect in this fragrance. I am telling you, this is just perfection. This fragrance is, if you are looking for a candy-like fragrance and you have not tried this one, you really need to get going, because I am telling you, you are going to fall in love immediately with Marshmallow Blush. The next and last scent profile that I have for you for spring fragrances is what I would consider to be the most beautiful and most important scent profile for the spring season, and it is the florals. And guys, I have quite the number of fragrances that I could have shared with you today in this specific scent profile. But every time I keep defaulting to this one, because this is really, really an exceptionally beautiful masterpiece level fragrance in my opinion. And this one is from Martin, and this one is Jameela. Wow. Have you gotten your nose on this fragrance? I've talked about this fragrance on the channel quite a bit. This is the most exquisite, the most perfect florals fragrance for spring. If you are looking for a florals fragrance of excellent quality, excellent blend, beautiful balance, just an exquisitely done masterpiece fragrance, you need to consider Jameela, because I tell you, you will not be disappointed. Let us know if you've tried Jameela or if it's a part of your collection, and your thoughts. What is it about it that really pulls you to it? Because I'm just curious, am I the only one that really feels so strongly about this fragrance? All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I really hope that this was enjoyable for you. It was such a joy for me to go around my collection and pick these fragrances for you. This is a very curated list because, guys, there's just so many repetitive launches in Middle Eastern fragrances and in all types of fragrances. That is happening now in niche and it's happening in designer. But I have to tell you that the fragrances that I have shared with you today within those specific scent profiles are fragrances that are going to perform for you and that are going to make you feel beautiful and ready for the spring season. I really doubt that you will be disappointed if you pick a fragrance within a scent profile that is of your preference and that you really enjoy. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.